What's up, team? It is now day 6. I've made it a week officially. We're locked in. Anyway, today we're going to be making this quick and easy graphic for your streetwear brand. So make sure you stay tuned and watch the full video, as this one's quite interesting. So let's go ahead and lock in. So we're going to go ahead and introduce our image. Now this one was just generated using Midjourney, but you can use any image. Reason why I generated is because I don't want to be hit with copyright. The brand name I'm going to use for this is Balenciaga. And yes, I am typing it in because who the hell knows how to spell Balenciaga? Definitely not me. After that, I'm just going to go ahead and open Photoshop. The font that I'm going to be using is Varsity or High School, whichever one you want. It's very good. And you just want that college preppy look. Next, I'm going to go ahead and introduce a bone because it is a dog. We're playing on that theme, and I'm going to make a bee out of the bone. It's fairly simple. I just got this one directly from Google, and now we're just going to orientate it so it matches a bee. Once we make the first arch, we can go ahead and group those two together and then make a duplicate of that and then drop it down to make our bee perfect. Once that's done and I'm happy with my bee, I'm going to go ahead and turn my font into a smart object, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut out each individual letter by selecting it and going layer via copy. If you don't convert it to a smart object, it won't work. So firstly, convert it into a smart object. If I can find it, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? It is right there. Wait, no. Convert smart object. I find that this moves all the time. So once you've converted into a smart object, go ahead and select your font using the lasso selection tool, any selection tool, and then just go ahead and go layer via copy, and it's going to make a duplicate of your layer. And if you're on the wrong layer, it won't work because you're not selecting anything. And I'm just going to do this for all the letters. Once you've cut out all your letters, we're going to go ahead and group everything. So select from the very bottom all the way to the very top, and then just press Command G on Mac or Control G on Windows, I believe, and it will group your objects. Next, we're going to head over into blending options, and I'm going to use this sort of fake metallic look, and I'm going to put up the settings right here. And if you don't know, you apply this in the blending options, and from here, because our blending options is on the entire group, we can go ahead and move around our text with the effects still applied, which is really cool because if the text is still applied, you get to, see the text morph and become an object or a design in itself. And I use this a lot in the beginning of my design career because I found that this was the easiest way to make a cool effect. But now there's like crazy generative like Adobe Firefly where you can make like full-on metallic graphics from text, which I'm working on right now to understand, and I'll make a video about it later. But I'm just going ahead and moving around my font. Just to save ourselves some time, I'm going to go ahead and use the select subject option in Photoshop and then press Q on my keyboard so I can view it in this like mode and go ahead and make any adjustments with a black brush to remove or white brush to add. And once I'm happy with that, I'll just press Q again and then create a mask. I'm going to go ahead and make a duplicate of the bee that we made originally because I grouped everything, and I'm going to move it towards the mouth and make it look like the dog has bit through the bone. So I'm going to go ahead and convert my group into a smart object of the bone, and then I'm going to use my polygonal tool in Photoshop, selection tool, and make some random objective spikes throughout this bone. Make it look as realistic as possible, but without caring too much. Again, this is a 15-minute design. I'm going to go ahead and make a duplicate again of the bone. This time I'm going to select the opposite of what I just selected. To do that best is you basically just select the mask and then you press select inverse, and then you create a mask from that inverse onto the new shape. And that's basically how you make two. Make it look like it's cut in half. After I position, I'm going to go ahead and use that polygonal selection tool again, and then just make some offsets of a selection to make it look like the bone. After I've made my selection and I'm happy with how it looks, all I have to do is close it off. And once it's closed off, I'm going to go ahead and get the paint bucket tool and fill that in with black and just repeat the steps for the other side. I'm going to go ahead and introduce another bone just to fill the space around the dog's mouth and repeat the same steps that I just did with the bee. I'll make sure I group that as well, convert that into a smart object, and then I can just go ahead and make as many duplicates as I want to fill the space around. Next, we'll go ahead and add a B, same font as we did before, and apply the same exact blending options that we did. To do this, go ahead and copy the blending options from the original folder and paste it onto the B. Lastly, convert that into a smart object and then transform it using the transform reflection tool once you've made a duplicate. So transform, reflect, and there. So for our original B, we're going to head into the blending options again, the one we made with the bone, and we're going to go ahead and add a stroke and make this pretty large, set it to the outside and change the color to white, same as the background. and then press OK when you're happy. We'll head down to the layers adjustments and add in a threshold, and this is where the magic comes in. Once you have your threshold on, you can see what your graphic is kind of looking like, and you can make adjustments as you see fit. So if you see that something is a bit too light, or something is like blended in too much, you want it to stand out. Like here for this bee, I'm gonna go ahead and go into the blending options and add an outer glow, and this outer glow is just there to kind of separate the bee from the subject of the dog. And just to make the bee stand out at the top, I'm going to add a hue and an adjustment, and go into the hue and adjustments once it's clipped onto that group, and just play with the exposure, make it darker or lighter just to add in some detail. Again, just do this depending on your image or your graphic. Once you're happy, convert everything into a smart object and group it all together. Make a duplicate of that, go to filter, noise, add noise, and this is where you add in detail from your threshold. Play with it until you're happy. Me personally, I like to stick on the more condensed style, and when it's fully dispersed, it's more like grayish and it doesn't look like a complete image. Go ahead and add in a new layer once you're happy. And then from here, it's time to fill in our layer. Go to select, color range, and make sure it's set to shadows. And then put the range all the way to black. Make sure you're happy with that selection. Grab the paint bucket tool and fill that layer in with black, and your design is basically complete. I was gifted this little action called LineBot from my time over with the team at CK, and I don't know, I've used it ever since because it gives the design a more hand dotted feel, making it look a bit more like technical 2000s sort of graphic. And yeah, all that's left is to make your mockups, whichever mockups you have. I have this white tee here that I made a while back, and I'm just going to add it to that. And it works perfectly because the image is already transparent. You don't need to do anything. Your design is basically finished, and you can send this directly to print because it's a one layer screen, or it's a single color DTG DTF. This is probably one of the easiest designs I've ever done, and it is fairly simple to do these threshold designs. I don't know why they're blowing up on IG, but I just decided to have a crack at it in the morning, and as you can see, it's very easy to do. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Love you. Peace.